Dear friends, welcome back with another machine on the Van Hub, which is solid state 1. The link will be put into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine if you want to. This machine is, is one very interesting one from the perspective of penetration, which will involve a variety of important techniques of pen testing. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So enough talk, let's just get started. We can head over to Kali Linux VM. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. As you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 131. Okay, I will put down such information into notebook in case we need such information afterwards. So what shall we do next? We need to do port and self-scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So for now, we just get out its result. And as you can see over here, I used the options like the scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p- to do the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. So from the map scanning results, we can tell that the target has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open port numbers. And let's take a look at them one by one. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service and also the version information, including the exact version number, 7.4. This version is not updated. However, I don't think we can find any vulnerability except the username enumeration vulnerability, which is not what we want at this point. And the next one is 25, which is running SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. You know, this protocol or this service is used for sending mails and also give us the exact version information, GEMS, SMTPD. And this is the first time I encounter this service, GEMS, and give us some commands. And the next one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information Apache 2, and the title, the solid state security. Afterwards, we can enumerate or walk through the site manually by the browser. And the next one is POP3, which is running, POP3 protocol or service is used for receiving mail, and also give us the version number or version information, GEMS POP3D. So I think the GEMS is some sort of software which can support both SMTP and POP3, also the NTP. This, if I remember very well, this protocol or this service is used for the news group. And the last one is 4555. And Nmap is not sure the exact service information because there is question mark in its end. However, from the fingerprint strings, we got something more interesting, the GEMS remote. So I think from the strings and also the version information, we know this port number 25 and this one 110 and also 119 and 4555 all are related to the GEMS, a GEMS service, and the login field for So please enter your login and password. But of course, at this moment, we do not have credentials yet. So how to do? I think we can start, or to begin with the immersion, we can, manually walk through the web application first. So then we can fire up the browser of Firefox and put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Press enter, and we got the page back. This is the solid state security and the solid states. Testers hold blah blah blah. Our security approach. So I think this should be the portal for the company solid state security. And we can scroll down, and here also we can, sorry, I need to pause the video. Okay, let's continue. Here we can, maybe we can send the message to the administrator. For example, we can test like JSON and the mail, my mail, and test, and then we can send the message. But nothing. Of course, this will not work because I configure the target machine as host only mode. So anyway, what can we do next? We need to walk more. We need to do more walkthrough surface, some static HTML page about us, and also, we need to check its source code, because sometimes source code can leak something important or sensitive. But it's not the case for this page or for this site. Next, we can check whether this site has a robots file or not. Not found. Next, we can launch Nikto to do the automatic immersion. The Nikto can give us information about the web application from different aspects, such as the banner information, the request header, allowed HTTP methods. Even, Nikto can enumerate out some files or directories like license, readme, but I think all of them are not important. But images, we need to take a look at this directory. Sometimes we can find some important from the images. Oh, sorry, what I'm doing. So images, press enter, and there's some pictures, but nothing special or nothing can stand out. So next we can launch the GoBuster to do the directory immersion. Press enter. As you can see over here, I used the -u to specify the URL of the target and use the W option to specify the word list. In most cases, I will use this word list, GoBuster medium. This can work for most cases. And also I use the X option to specify the extension. And the license readme, we can copy and access the readme. Sometimes readme can give us some, application version information, but this just, the HTML, maybe, the template, not useful. Assets, we can access assets. There's some subdirectories under the assets like CSS, fonts, JS, Sass. In most cases, such directories contain a static file which are used by the site. But if you have time, you can walk through all of the directories. But I will tell you, nothing can be found from, from the perspective of the pen testing. Okay. So how to do next? We have already done almost everything what we can with this web application, but nothing interesting has been got. And so what are we going to do next? I think we need to move our focus to the GEMS surface. We can cut out this a map result again. So next, we need to check whether this surface is vulnerable or not. Okay, so now we can use such a sprite utility and followed by the keyword gems. And indeed, from the version, indeed, this surface is, or gems server is vulnerable. And some Python script, and also this would be the Metasploit. Okay, so just I mentioned in the other videos, it would be, it would be best that we try the Metasploit first. If this cannot work, and then we can try other ways. Okay, so let's do it now. We can launch the Metasploit console. And we can search gems. And I think the first one is what we want. The exploit Linux SMTP Apache gems. So we can copy. And use this module. And we can leave the payload to the default one. And then we can show options. We need to set localhost to our Kali Linux. And set local port number to 555. Set the remote host to our target. And we need to check. Of course, we can show options again. So yeah, admin port number, we do not need to change. Port for gems, remote administration 2, and password root. So this would be, of course, the default password. And also username root. So maybe we can try to run to see whether we can get a Metasploit session. And as you can see, the TCP handler has started, reverse TCP handler, waiting for the collection from the target. Of course, next step would be sending the payload to the target, because the target is vulnerable. So maybe we need to change this host, but I don't think it matters. So command stage progress 100% done. It means that it works, and waiting for Chrome to execute the payload. Actually, if we know the mechanism of this exploit, this is waiting for some user to log in. But at this moment, at this point, we didn't get any credentials for the user. We just confirm the password and username for the remote administration too. Okay, so this will not work. If you have time, you can wait. But to save time of this video, I'd like to quit. So now we can exit from the Metasploit console, and we can search the sprite again. And next, I'd like to try this one. And this is the authenticated exploit, but this doesn't matter. It's very similar to the Metasploit module. The Python script, this exploit has already the credentials. We can search, and you can get out this Python script. And as you can see here, so some instructions or information made required changes to print socket commands for Python 3 compatibility. So this exploit is written to to upgrade the this one. Yeah, this one should be built on the Python 2, and the username is root. I think this credential does work. Just now we have already known this point when we try to use Metasploit, right? And so the usage and remote we do not need to change. Select payload, and this is the reversal command. In other words, we need to set up the listener on the Kali Linux, okay? And the print. Okay, so now I think we can try to run. Of course, I will use the virtual environment of Python. Oh, and in the meantime, we can set up the listener on the Kali Linux. And we need to specify the target and also the local machine and port number to be listened on. Press enter. So connecting to GEMS remote administration 2. But we didn't get any collection from the target yet. Creating user, connecting to GEMS SMTP server. So creating user, then payload will be executed once somebody logs in. We can cut out. It means that in order to get the shell, we need to wait somebody logs in and create a user. But we didn't specify the new user name, right? We can cut out. So how about the username? Create. Oh, add the user. This user is not actual username, is some sort of the command or exploit. And so I think, although it looks like this exploit has been executed properly, however, we cannot log in with some credentials. The root credential is for the administration. So it means that we cannot directly or simply utilize the Metasploit or the Python exploit to get the shell on the target. We need to, manually exploit this vulnerability. How to do? And we can connect to the target. Of course, we need to telnet or connect to the port number for the remote administration 2, 4555. Okay, login ID. Of course, we know that. It does work. We have already in the administration 2, and we can use a help command to display all available commands like list users. Yeah, I want to list users first. Oh, I think this user and this user were created when we try to use Metasploit and also Python script to exploit. The real user on the target would be James, Thomas, John, and Mindy, and the mail admin. So we can copy all of them. So the mail users, James, Thomas, John and Mindy and mail admin. So what else we can get? You know, to log in as specific user, we need to set a password, because as administrator or root user can set a password for any user. For example, like James Thomas. So I'm going to do now. We can log in to receive the email. Okay, we can set password James, and we can set password to 1 2 3 4 5, and also we can set a password for the next user, Thomas. We can use the same password. Set password to John, 1 2 3 4 5. Set password for which one? Mindy, 1 2 3 4 5. Set password for password mail admin, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, then I think we can quit. Next, we can log in to the POP3 server of the Gems to see whether we can receive some emails. Okay, so we can use the telnet to connect to. Of course, nowadays, normally we do not need to use the command manually. I mean the POP3 commands. And here you can use Google, make some very simple commands like list. We can use the user and pass to provide the username and password. Okay. So the user, first one James, and the pass is 1 2 3 4 5, and we can use list command to retrieve all mails, but nothing here. So then we can quit, and we need to log in to the server as another user, Thomas. User Thomas, and password 1 2 3 4 5, and we can use the same command to display to retrieve the emails. No, we can quit again. And next we need to try to log in as user John. So user John. Okay, pass 1 2 3 4 5, and then we can list. Oh, have one email. We can use RETR to retrieve this email, followed by the index. Okay, so we got the email. So this mail is message. So John, from this user mail admin, from another user to John. So can you please restrict Mindy's? Mindy is another user access until she gets read onto the program. Also, make sure that you send her a temporary password to log into her accounts. So I think next we need to check the Mindy's mailbox. Okay, the user is Mindy, and the password is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so sorry, I need to pause the video again. All right, let's continue. So we can use the list command to retrieve the mails. There are two mails. We can use the retr or retrieve command to retrieve the first mail. And blah, blah, blah. We are looking forward to you joining our team. And similarly, we can retrieve the second mail. And then we can get the SSH credentials for the user. We can copy and paste into our notebook. So this should be the SSH credentials. I think this would be the great step, and we can quit from the telnet session. SSH mindy followed by the IP address of the target. We need to supply the password of this user. We are in, and also give us some email. So permitted by blah, 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 blah. So it looks like we are in, although we have already got a shell on the target. We are in the restrict shell. We can, for example, you cannot run command. Oh, we can run ls command to retrieve the user flag, and we can echo the shell. Yeah, we are indeed restrict a bash shell, and also we can cut out the path. So I think we can use different ways, but I'd like to show you one of ways which can work. You can use this resource. I've already demonstrated this technique for many times. We can use this option. Yeah, we can copy this option to specify the terminal. Press enter, and we need to copy the password. Now we are in, and now we can run command like id and go to the home directory. There are two users, James, but nothing here. Permission denied. And also we can check its kernel, a bit old, 4.9. But I don't think I will use the kernel exploit to elevate privilege. And also the architecture is a NOT 64, i686. So next, how to do? We need to make some more local emulation like OPT. And this one is the surface, gems. And however, alongside this directory, we found this one, temp. And everyone has full permissions to this Python script. We can cut out this Python script. A very simple one, remove the temp. So next, we can, I'd like to upload the Nimpier shell script to the local, automatic immersion. And I've already got this script ready, this one. So in order to upload this file to the target, there will be so many ways, but I prefer to use this way, Python, to set up the web server locally, and then we can use wget to upload. Oh, sorry. This should be the IP address of the Kali Linux and default port number by Python HTTP server. And Nimpiers, it's done. We can make it executable, and then we can run it. when we are trying to elevate privilege, in most cases, we need to, take advantage of this script, Ningpia shell script, because this script can do very comprehensive enumeration, such as cron job, the SUID, the binaries with SUID, and also capabilities, and also will find the file which contains sensitive information like passwords. So this utility, this script is very, very useful. It's done, and then we can scroll up to see whether we can find some vectors which allow us to elevate privilege. The backup files, so the binary with capabilities, SUID, files with interesting permissions, PGP signature, process information, users information, active ports. Cron job, process. I think we need to look for the process which are owned by the super user or root user, but not such processes. And also some local exploits, but just I mentioned earlier, I will not take kernel exploit for this video. All right, so nothing we get from the Ningpia shell script. So how to do? Just now, we have already found one file which looks suspicious, the OPT directory, the temp, because everyone has permission to modify and execute this Python script, but we don't know what it's used for. So next, we can upload another very important utility, PSPY. Okay, we can solid. I've already got the PSPY 32. Maybe before I've already used its 64 version, but just I use command ulim to get the version or architecture of the target machine. This case, we need to use 32 version, and we can upload this utility. PSPY 32. It's done. We need to make it executable, and then we can run it to see whether there is any process owned by root user run the temp Python script under the OPT directory regularly or as cron job. So I think PSPY is also another very common and important technique which we should grasp. We need to give a bit sweet time, like 1 minute or 2 minutes. So those, oh, sorry, what I'm doing, those process, if its UID is equal to 0, this means this process is owned by the root user, okay? And Okay, this one is the user minding, I think. As you can see here, this is will remove. And also here, you can see will run this process or this script indeed is executed regularly by the root user. Okay, we run the shell and command Python. So next, to elevate privilege, we need to manipulate this script, tmp.py script. So how to do? We can go to the opt directory, and we can write the PHP reversal command, a command or statement to this file. We can copy and paste over here. We need to do some modification. We do not need to use this one because we will know as a script rather than command. And also the IP address, we can copy and replace the attacking IP. And we need to use different port number. And I think that's it. We can copy and we can echo temp py. So the name is temp. Yes, it's correct. So now we can press enter. And now we need to set up another listener on the Kali Linux to wait for collection from the target. And this collection should be triggered or should be run by the super user root. And then we can get privilege escalated as we expected, right? We need to give another 1 minute or 2 minutes. Okay, it's done. So from the symbol, the pound symbol, we know that we succeed in getting privileged shell, and we can navigate to root directory to grab the final flag. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.